Hello and welcome to a special edition of Clovis Local, taking the political pulse from people who call Clovis home. This week, a man on the street perspective on the race for president. Clovis locals share their thoughts as we head into convention season, less than 3 months before the general election. And political pressure on Republican Assembly Leader Mike Valines of Clovis as we pass the 50-day milepost without passage of the state budget. Thanks for logging on to Clovis Local. The Democratic National Convention begins in Denver on Monday, August 25th. Republicans gather in Minneapolis a week later on September 1st. Even Clovis kids and their families, as they get ready for back to school, and we all stay tuned to the world-class Olympic action, are paying attention to the race for president. The pulse of the electorate. Correspondent Kevin Mahan hit the streets of Old Town Clovis.
McCain.
McCain.
And how come?
He's got a good plan.
I think so too.
You think he's the right man to follow in President Bush's footsteps? And how come?
Because he doesn't want to pull out. He wants to follow things through. And he doesn't want to let all my friends that went to Iraq die for nothing. I'm slated to go here in the spring.
So you yourself are enlisted and...
Yes, I am.
So obviously then it has a big impact on your future, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But I'd much rather go and see things through and see that the people get what they deserve and get what they need, and show that it's not just something that we did in vain. Do I think we went there for the right reason? No. But we're already there, and we did it, and we've done a lot of good things for that country.
I totally agree. Because, you know, we're already there, and we might as well finish the job.
And it's either between Obama and McCain.
And you...
I don't know which one, to be honest, regardless. Probably going McCain. It's Republican, but I'm not sure.
Well, I'm a registered Democrat, but I sometimes vote independent, depending on how I feel.
And so are you willing to reveal who you might be voting for this presidential election?
No,
No, not yet, huh?
that's it.
I'm going to vote for McCain.
Why is that?
He's got a lot more experience. He's got, I think there's, the Obama situation is he's too young, I think, and he doesn't have the experience to deal with all the world situations.
Do you feel you've made a decision yet, or you...
Well, absolutely. I've definitely made a decision, and I'm a Republican, so that is my decision, and I'll go from there.
Not sure about McCain, and I was even discussing, I don't even know if I'm going to vote, but I feel guilty because I've never not voted.
Do you think the choice of a vice presidential candidate is going to weigh in on your final decision?
Nothing that either candidate can say can change my mind.
I kind of feel that he's going to pick Hillary, but I don't know. It sounds like if he does that, then I'll vote for him. But other than that, I know I'm not going to vote for him.
Be cool if Barack was smart. He'd make her vice president.
It would make a big change to see a woman become a president, you know. But then this other man, he's young. Maybe he'll do good.
Hillary Clinton presents a problem that we have, and I don't think they're trying to, based on that he is first Afro-American, and she would be the first woman. And I feel that's not the issue here. It's the issue who can do the best job and get the country back on their feet and in the economic situation.
They're doing traditional things. They're both competent. So we're not really getting incompetent people. Such a comment that Obama is inexperienced is reckless. He's experienced. He's had 2 terms as a city councilman in Michigan, Chicago. He has served 2 terms in the Senate. He's competent. That's why you have a staff around you. You select your people to give you wise counsel, and then you have to have enough wisdom to make the right decision.
Vice presidential nominee, I don't think is going to have much impact at all, and I've pretty much decided how I'm going to vote. So.
Very clear. I am.
Remember to vote in the November 4th election. Registration deadline is October 20th. For more information, Call the Fresno County Elections Division 488-3246. California lawmakers are almost always late in passing a state budget, but they're really playing hardball politics this election year. Republicans, like Assembly Leader Mike Valines of Clovis, are demanding budget cuts. Democrats insist tax increases are needed. It's a California classic, a clear-cut case of bipartisan frustration as the state's spending plan goes more than 2 months overdue.
The Republicans came in against, with the mantra, no taxes, no taxes, no taxes. And then the Democrats come in and says, no cuts, no cuts. So, I mean, you can't continue this way because otherwise we're going to sit here 6 months from now.
Republican Assembly Leader Mike Valines of Clovis walked out of a budget meeting last week. He, too, is frustrated with the governor and Democrats.
The only conversation that seemed to be going on was talking about more taxes. And frankly, the governor was the one talking the most about taxes. And when you're sitting in a room with 5 of us and 3 people are talking about taxes, how many times can you say no?
A new spending plan needs a 2/3 vote of the legislature. It's a classic political battle, budget cuts versus tax increases. Governor Schwarzenegger offered a new proposal this week, $2 billion in spending cuts and a 1-cent increase in the state sales tax for 3 years. Frustration reached the streets of neighboring Fresno this week. Educators, seniors, and others worried about the threat of layoffs if a budget isn't passed soon.
Solve the budget. And it's sad that 2 of the members from our Fresno County delegation are not bending at all.
So it's going to be devastating to our kids, to the families, everybody.
Mike Valines of Clovis and other Republican leaders are working to deliver another alternative spending plan. Meantime, Assemblywoman Nicole Parra, Democrat of Kern County, is settling into her much smaller office across the street from the Capitol building. She was kicked out of her Capitol offices after refusing to vote on a Democratic budget compromise. Parra says she won't vote for a budget unless it includes support for a water bond for Valley farmers. There's your political roundup from a Clovis perspective. Count on KSEE 24 News and KSEE24.com for up-to-the-minute political coverage throughout this election season, right on to November 4th. And thanks for watching Clovis Local. We'll see you next time on the World Wide Web. I'm Mark Alger, KSEE 24 News.